Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare here with you on the 28th of November 2022. I'm here with psychic medium and remote viewer Liz Cross. How are we doing today, Liz?
Very well, thank you.
Good. This is going to be a sort of a dual probe, actually. We're going to start with the continent, the country known as Australia, and then we're going to go on to one of its politicians, but we'll start with Australia.
Okay.
How is Australia currently doing today?
Well, the first thing that came through, and I don't know, but the first thing that came through is it's poor. And I feel like that's coming from the government. I feel like the government is hurting for money.
Okay. Well, they've had some of the most draconian lockdowns. So could that have had anything to do with it?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people stopped working. I feel like a lot of people left. Now that's bizarre, but I feel like those who could leave did leave. They're losing money. They spend a lot of money, the government, a lot.
Okay. But all governments spend a lot of money. Why particularly? I mean, what particularly do Australia spend money on then?
What do you particularly spend money on? Employees.
Oh, so they've got a bloated public sector, have they?
Have you got a bloated public sector? Very much so. Like, I don't know. It feels like a very high percentage rate of the overall population works for the Australian government, like government sector jobs and
public sector, what we call public sector jobs.
Yeah. It feels very, very large. The amount of red tape, the amount of paperwork, I don't know. It feels like a lot of people are employed by the government.
Right. But of course, the government only spends money and only incurs expenses. It doesn't really make any money. So it's the private sector that does that. And if they've locked the private sector down, or if they locked it down for such a long period of time, which I believe they did, it's no wonder that their economy is suffering. So what are they going to do about it?
So what are they going to do about it? They're going to raise taxes.
Right. Okay. Do they think that's going to go down well with the population?
Do you think that's going to go down well with the population? No, but they don't really care. They don't really care. They just say it's to be expected for all these wonderful services that they provide. That was their exact answer. We provide excellent service.
Right. Okay.
I wonder if they have a national healthcare system.
I don't know. That's a good point. Let's ask them. Do you have a state-financed, state-sponsored healthcare?
Yeah, state-sponsored health. I do feel like they have a state-sponsored healthcare system. Excuse me. Is it part? I feel like people have to maybe contribute something to it, though.
Right. Well, that's the same in the UK. I mean, we have a state system in the UK, but you still have to pay towards it. It's just it's not market rates compared to, say, the US, if you like. Okay.
No.
What do they think of the people that are leaving and basically voting with their feet to leave and not experience all the wonderful benefits that the government provide?
What do you think about the people that are leaving? Well, it's not good. It's not good because a lot of the people that are leaving are professionals.
Right. And they are the higher wage earners and therefore the higher taxpayers. And so can they not see an issue with, if the professional class move out, then their tax base will be reduced substantially?
Yeah, but they can't stop people from leaving.
No, they can't. No.
That's what they said. We can't stop them from leaving if they want to go. But
they could reduce the public sector, employees, couldn't they? That's what a private company would do.
Can you reduce the amount of public sector employees? No, because where would these people work?
Right. So is the general idea then to keep as many people on the government payroll as possible?
Is the general idea to keep as many people on the government payroll as possible? Yes, overall, that is the general idea.
Okay, well, if everybody was on the government payroll, who exactly is going to be doing the work and therefore the money creation and the wealth creation?
Who will be doing creation? Excuse me. The people do the wealth creation, but that's only a very small minority of people. Most people live. This is so bizarre to me, right? But the answers are most people live under like government financial, that umbrella. Not saying like benefits, but I'm saying they rely upon the government for their job.
Right.
And they're paid very well, apparently.
Okay. But that's all, that helps it always helps if there's a booming economy. If there's a bad economy, then, you have to sort of rein your spending in, don't you?
Is the economy bad in Australia? They're saying no, the economy isn't too bad over there.
Right.
It's not as bad as we're experiencing in the US or in Europe. It seems, and they're saying that's because of the amount of people that work for the government. The government is sustaining the economy. This is weird. I don't know. This is so bizarre.
The government is sustaining the economy.
Yeah, it feels like the government is, that's what they're telling me is, we're responsible for the economy. We keep it going. There's a lot of government employees. They're paid very well. They're putting money back into the economy. There are people, obviously, that don't work for the government, but they don't make as much money unless they are like entrepreneurial, people.
Yeah. Okay.
They like for people to just get by as well.
When you say just get by, you mean don't have too much spare income, don't have too much spare money. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting very strongly. Like, that's the system. That's the system they like. They like for people to just have maybe a little bit more than what they earn. But they don't like them to. It's the way to keep people in control. They just said to me. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You'll find that everybody does that, from employers to governments globally. They all, people get paid just above what they absolutely need, the minimum amount. So in other words, if you were to be flipping burgers at Burger King or McDonald's, you are not going to get $100 an hour salary or anything anywhere near that, Right. Okay. So, all right. So they're following a sort of a globalist model then, aren't they? Are they? Asking that.
You guys globalists? No, they're not. They're not globalists. Are you following the globalist model? Yes. Yes.
Right. So they, the government gets to decide how much money you get to keep of your money, pretty much.
Yeah, I feel like the taxes are very high.
Okay. I don't know what the tax rate is in Australia.
I don't either. I don't know.
I think it's high, actually.
Is it? It feels high.
Oh, hang on a second.
It feels very high. Who is the person that we're supposed to probe? Because I know somebody on the Discord had asked us to probe a particular politician. I didn't take too much of a look at it for obvious reasons. Who is that we're supposed to probe?
Yeah, we're moving on to him in a minute, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so tax on this income, right? So if you earn $120,000 Australian dollars a year, you'll pay about 30,000 in tax. So
okay.
If you earn $45,000 a year, you'll pay 5,100.
Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of tax. But I also feel like there's a lot of other taxes there apart from wage tax. I feel like there's all sorts of things going on. And of course, everybody that comes through for a reading, or certainly most people that come through for a reading from Australia, it's all about housing. House prices are completely out of control. And this is what I can see happening eventually in the USA. We're going to get to the point like Australia where everybody seems to be, certainly a lot of people that come through for readings, like I said, are obsessed with owning their own house. It's become, something of a quest. And so I feel it's very difficult. And they don't really want anybody to own their own house anymore. Because I just said to the Australian government, I just said, well, why would you not want people to own their house? And it's because they have more control.
Of course. Are they signing up to the World Economic Forum's agenda then? Is that what they're doing?
No, but they do watch those sorts of things closely.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's drop the government and let's have a little look at this character, Daniel Andrews.
And who is he again?
So he's the Prime Minister of Victoria, I believe, one of the provinces. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's the Prime Minister of Victoria, which is one of the regions of Australia. So, have you got him?
Yes, he's a total nightmare.
Oh, good. How did he think he got re-elected then? How does he think that happened?
He got re-elected. This guy is really strange. He's like, because the people love me. But also, I feel like he's got a strong, a lot of people behind him that want to push him through so he could make life easier for them.
Okay.
I feel like he's involved with a lot of kickbacks for businesses, right? So, hey, if you get elected, if you're in power, we get the contract, we'll give you a kickback as a thank you.
Right.
That's what I'm getting.
Okay. What does he say to people who say that his level of corruption is off the scale?
What do you say to people who believe your level of corruption is off the scale? He thinks that's funny. He's just laughing at me. He says it's true.
It's true.
Yeah, he thinks it's hilarious. Ha ha ha. He's like, yeah, it's true. He doesn't care what people think.
Does he have any connections to China?
Do you have any connections to China? Not yet, but he plans on making some big connections.
Right. Apparently, he was involved in a car accident which left a young man severely injured, and he was never investigated. How come? How come he was never investigated?
Ooh, I didn't know that. Okay. How come? How long ago was that car accident?
I don't know. This is a question on the Discord. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know anything about this.
Okay. Why was that accident never investigated? Because he just said to me, because he's above the law. Were you drinking? He says probably. He's above the law. This isn't sounding good, is it?
Been involved in. How does he manage to do that?
Sorry.
He's had an ability apparently to silence every inquiry that he was involved in. How has he managed to do that?
How do you have the ability to silence every inquiry that you have been involved in? Blackmail.
Why does he think nobody will stand up to him?
Why do you think no one will stand up to you? Because they just don't. He's far too powerful. He has too much on too many people.
Does he think people are scared of him?
Do you think people are scared? Yes, of the information that he has. Yes.
Okay. He actually presided over the longest and the harshest lockdown in pretty much in the whole world, and yet he got re-elected. How did that happen?
How did you preside over the longest and most ridiculous lockdown in the whole world, and you got re-elected? Because the person that they had to choose between was no good. So, it's the case of bad candidates, and you had to choose choose one of them. You may as well choose the devil you know.
Does he have any plans to put Victoria back into lockdown?
Do you have any plans to put Victoria back into lockdown? No.
What does he plan on doing in the future?
What do you plan on doing in the future? Well, to stay in politics as long as he can. It's very easy. It pays exceptionally well. It is very beneficial for him. He says, I know all the right people in all the right places. He just seems to be able to destroy people very easily as well.
Right. Was he involved in any form of election rigging?
Were you involved in any form of election rigging? He says no.
Okay. So people just freely voted for him, did they?
Do you believe that people just freely voted? No. They were forced to vote.
For him?
For him? For you? Were they forced to vote for you? No, they said forced to vote.
Oh, okay. Right. Right. Is he going to have anything to do with this new digital ID that the Australian government wants to bring out? Is he a supporter of it?
About the new digital ID. It's perfect. He loves the new digital ID.
Why does he love it?
Why do you love the digital ID? Because it makes life easy for us.
Right.
Which I think was exactly what we got when we probed the digital ID. That was what I was picking up. It makes life easy for them watching the citizens. And he's just confirmed that.
Right. Can we just let's just do a couple of far out questions. Put him out to December 2025, please.
Okay.
22nd of December 2025.
2025. 6 p.m. Standard Time. Okay.
Is he still Prime Minister of Victoria?
No.
What happened?
He lost.
He lost. When did he lose?
It was very recent.
Right. Okay.
He's not so much cracking down with lockdowns, but he's cracking down in lots of other ways. People's freedoms are being stripped very rapidly, bringing in a lot of new laws in. And I just feel people are feeling very oppressed.
Why does he dislike the population so much?
Why do you dislike the population so much? He thinks he's above the population, right? He is not for the people. He's for himself. So I feel like he just, he's better than the population, or certainly that's how he feels.
Right, but he's just another corrupt politician, isn't he?
He says we're all like that.
Yeah, and that's the problem, because the leadership class, the quality of the leadership class globally is so poor, is really bad globally.
Oh, right.
Okay, I think we've done enough with him and on Australia for now. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? No?
No.
I just feel life in Australia is going to get harder and harder and harder.
Yeah,
that's what's coming.
If people could leave, they should.
It just feels like it's really strange, okay? Because this is what's coming through. Well, if they're willing to comply to this, outrageous lockdown, then we can do anything to them. And that's what I'm getting. And they know that now. And certainly from him. And it's like, oh, okay, well, we can just take the freedom. It's like, we'll just take the freedoms away. And they know they can get away with it. And they know there's nothing people can do. And I just feel like the ultimate goal, which is a goal of many, many, many governments, is to control.
Yeah.
I don't see it getting easier for our Aussie friends. I really don't. There's going to have to be
actually, let's ask him one last question. Has he ever studied the French Revolution?
Have you ever studied the French Revolution? No.
Tell him he should.
You should. He's like, no, I don't need to study that. But that's, it's not just him.
I know, but it's the whole leadership class, which is so poor. It's almost like, where are the great statesmen, statesmen of the world? There's just...
Well, I don't know. They're not, they're few and far between now. Really. But this guy, he just is like, the peasants, they have to bow down to me. And that's what I'm getting very strongly from him. This guy he's not a nice man.
No.
So, okay. Well, I hope that helps our Aussie friends. And thank you very much.